It's
Could
gonna
have
be
put those
interesting.
man.
No, I'm gonna sit here and look sleepy, because that's exactly what I feel.
Yeah, especially after what went on about 15 minutes ago,
Oh,
20 minutes
Jesus.
ago.
Not only that, I've had a bad day today. It's been a little hardship. I don't know what's going on with my back. Some of you guys know that I've had back surgery, but that was 12 years ago. And lately, I have been having a lot of problems where by the end of the day, I'm really, really in pain. So tonight, it was so much pain, so much stiffness, and even muscle spasms that I had to take some Tylenol. So if I look sleepy, that's pretty much what it is. Tylenol is getting rid of the pain so I could just sit here and be with my husband, who was going to do a show all by himself. And I said, you can't have a show without a lover, without the giver. So we're both here. I'm just slightly propped up. And so if you want to pray for anything, pray that this is a temporary thing, nothing long-term or serious. But we wanted to do something to thank everybody for the love that everybody showed today. And well, you want to set it up? Because some people may or may not know.
Well, this morning, me and Judy had an episode of, she got frustrated because I was coming down on, a few people that, upon social media who I didn't feel that I got the support from via social media. And, she was sitting there saying that I was singing what was it? Singing like a violin, a piano
Well,
violin.
no, he was ranting and venting. And I think it's for a wife to know when her husband is venting and needs support, not just venting because, well, he just needs to vent. You know, there are signs that people make that are, and I don't mean this in any kind of weak way because I think men feel as if they cannot do this, but there are signs that a man needs support or needs help. And he's showing those signs. And sometimes as women, we miss them. We just miss those signs. And so when I heard him venting this morning, in the beginning I was like, oh, isn't that funny? Or, oh, this is how he usually is. But something, and I pray that that was just the Holy Spirit, and I thank God. But I began to just get the feeling that there was more to it. It was deeper, and that you really needed support. And so when we got offline, we had a conversation, right? We ended up having a conversation. You went to the gym, and I had put up on Facebook for everybody that I needed those people who really cared about him to step up to the plate, to say, hey, I'm here right now. And a lot of people did. A lot of people actually responded to my post. I called it a George Bailey moment, which some people got the movie reference, other people didn't. But it was from It's a Wonderful Life. And there's a moment in that movie that I explained to him about where George Bailey just loses sight of the difference he's making in people's lives because of a sudden issue that crops up. And he begins to wish that he was not there. You know what I'm saying? So in the movie, of course, if you know It's a Wonderful Life, one of my favorite movies, he has to be shown how, if he had not done what he did with his life, how many lives he would have affected. How many lives would be affected, I should say. And so I needed people to come. Like, his wife in that movie called everybody, like, George is in trouble. I need your help. Come now. And people came. And I was really happy today that people came and showed you love online and offline. That what was so important to me was that people show you the support offline. Because just likes and sad faces and hearts and all that that when you're going through something, that's not enough. It's just not enough. So, and I needed some brothers. Okay, I mean, women, we are a nurturing. That's just us. And so, of course, we've got good words. We've got great words and softness and all of that. And my sisters came through in a lot of ways. But I needed some of these brothers to step up and say, yo, man, what's going on? Yo, bruh, what's happening? What can I do? And you had some people that just poured into you this evening. And I know you wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, well, first I called Tyler, my cousin Tyler. If you don't know, he owns
9 Round.
9 Rounds in Harrisburg. He's the owner of it, and I talked to him and I vented to him a little bit, and he talked and he inspired me and told me a couple of different things that I could do to reach out to the people outside of Facebook friends and family that's not supportive. So he gave me some advice, as he was listening. And then I called Big Brother Fly Ty, who y'all know as Fly Ty. I called him, and he gave me some words of encouragement and told me to keep going. And so, those two I talked to. And then I saw the post where Judy was reaching out to, and some people called, Charles Robinson and my homie Calvin Clark, who's there for me anytime I call upon him. Even when I don't reach out to a specific person, he always reads the post and he just reaches out to the situation. And me and Charles, we begin to get closer.
I'm so excited about that because this is a man, I believe, who has a similar heart for the people, a similar love for change, and I think it's just great that you guys are able to establish some sort of communication, friendship, that sort of thing. I think that is just powerful.
Yeah, so, they reached out. But one thing about it is, me and Judy are addicts of social media, especially Facebook. And I knew it was going to be an issue with Single Saved and Serious, but I didn't know that it would go this far as like passion, as far as my drive, as far as my heart from the beginning. I didn't know that I would have so much success with it to go this far after 2 years or whatever. So, I see all these congratulations. I see all of these, I see all of this stuff. And then I see people that know Will McCray, but not supporting him. And, it's sort of frustrating. He's not as frustrated because Will McCray is more calm. He's more calm and, more, what is it? What's the word? Laid back and proper. So his passion is a lot different from mine. And his vision might be a lot different from mine. But I see young boy, I remember when he was like 19, 20 years old out there when we was doing security, and he was just talking to me about his love for God. And I saw that he was driving for certain people. And it's like the people that, from me way back, I can go over it over and over, but the support and the lack of support that me and Will are getting, whether it's in Concord or wherever it is like, we don't get as much. We don't get the love, as much as we give out. One other frustration is, like years ago, I remember a certain person used to text me, hey, little brother, send this flyer out on Facebook and, tell your people to come through to my place. I ain't even gonna say where it is. I ain't gonna say no names. But I used to go around the fellas who we all grew up with, and they'd be like, man, you pushing everybody else but yourself. You pushing people hard, and, you ain't even pushing yourself. And so I was like, at that time, I was like, I'm pushing them because I'll be expecting the same thing when I get to a certain point. When it's my turn to get there, I'll be expecting it. How about I ain't even get a small favor, not even a small push or anything. I just got ignored. So it's a lot of reasons behind the frustration when you put so much investment into something and you put so much time into something. When you put passion into something other than your job, other than, you're at your job and you're just thinking about your dreams and your vision towards what you want to do in life, and you're doing it for a godly purpose. When you see others around you and they're so addicted to what's going on in the world and so happy with what's going on in the world and so excited, but you like, God, I'm doing this for you. Like, I'm trying to build the kingdom. They're doing this over here, but this is what I'm doing for you. And it seems like the people who you expect to be behind you and push you ain't trying to push you at all. So, I'm happy that me and Will have partnered together, or he partnered with us together in order to make certain things happen every fourth Sunday, but he'll be back the second Sunday. And I'm happy what we're doing with Single, Saved, and Serious and The Lover and Giver. I'm happy about all those things, but I wasn't happy with the point of the lack of support from the people, especially when I ain't charging you $20 or $40. I ain't charging you nothing to just come out and enjoy yourselves. But I understand, I deal with a lot of people, and one thing that I like is the fact that, I'm a trash talker.
Yes, you are.
So, if I feel a certain way about certain things, I'm going to address it, and I might even call you out. Because it makes me feel good when I call you out.
You know what? You just
It's some sort of therapy. I'm just...
Yeah, I know. You're just... Go ahead.
But it makes me feel good. It really, truly makes me feel good when you come on here and you say, congratulations. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Oh, I'm proud of you, Brandon. Oh, I'm proud of you, Chuck. But I ain't seen you in 10 years, 10 to 20 years. I ain't seen you in 5 years. Way before I even started Single, Saved, and Serious, you were nowhere to be found when I was going through something. And some people were found when I was going through something, but it was only to bury me further. You know how many people that came to my aid? What's wrong with you? When me and Katera went through our situation, how many people were there and all over, and how many people, even though I was posting it, and I was posting it for various reasons, but, for my own good, but people just came around and called on me and wanted to pray for me with Daddy, and I'm like, I'm just laughing on the inside because I'm like, it's deeper than that. But I realize now that they weren't trying to inspire me. They were basically trying to, or I felt like they were, now that I look back at it, it was like they were trying to kick me down. And I think that's the problem. I don't know in other communities, but in the African American community, it seems like people don't pay what's going on until something bad happens to you. And people are sitting there trying to get your attention and trying to, let you know what's going on with them. And then next thing you know, you ignore their pain or how they're feeling until something goes wrong. Then you realize, well, I should have listened to that person, or, what could I have done? And there's going to be some people, well, why he ain't never reach out to me? Well, why you ain't never reach out to him or them?
Well, you can go back and forth on that one. It's just, at some point, you want to break that cycle.
Yeah.
You know, you want to break that cycle. Guys, I'm getting so sleepy, and I told him I would be. You know, took all this medication so that I could rest. And
I thought I had you back feeling better though, but I guess it's coming back. So
no,
I guess
because
we
it's
gotta go
all the
one
way
more
up. It's
round.
up to my neck at this point, and so
Yeah,
when
because
I'm
the
out
way
of
you
alignment,
laying.
even if you want to
Okay,
sit up,
lay
you can go
down.
ahead and
Just lay
sit.
down.
No, I'm perfectly fine the way I am right now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying I took all of that lovely Tylenol, so I'm sleepy. So I mean, my eyes aren't even focused on anything in particular. So I'm
Well,
just apologizing to people because I usually wouldn't get on. I would not get on the air, but you know he insists, and I wasn't having him do a lover without the giver. So I'm here, and I hear everything you're saying. And like I said, I'm just grateful that there were those who stepped up to the plate, and were faithful as friends, real friends, when you had a moment. You know, it's important to have those people in your life. What it would be like if everybody was a doggone acquaintance, and then when you went through something serious, no one could be counted on.
well, one thing that I can say, people don't expect you to have a down moment when you're a Christian or when you're, abiding by God.
We gotta stop acting as if we're in our glorified bodies already. Like right now, I'm in pain. It has been something that's been progressing since we pretty much, well, I think even before we moved in here, I think between, I wouldn't say the first month of not knowing where I was going to be, but definitely by the time we were in that hotel, I was suffering. The 2 weeks on the couch, I was suffering. And I thought I was making a turnaround, but it has gotten worse. So I can sit here and grin and grit my teeth and act like, oh, I got it all together. The truth of the matter is I need Christ, because the first thing that hit me was fear. I was like, you know what, God, I haven't felt like this in a long, long time. I've always been like, every day that I wake up, I'm blessed, because the man told me in 3 to 5 years I would be back underneath the knife, and it's been 12. So I'm sitting here thinking I'm blessed, but then when this pain grips me, the first thing that grips me emotionally is fear. Like, is this the day or the month that my body says, oh, back to the operating table you go? And so, so we have to be able to talk about that. But at the same time, we talk about a God who is ever present, to whom we can go. And that he doesn't just operate in the spiritual so that you have these spiritual experience, but he realizes we need signs in the natural, like sending people to you, like me being able to, look for a comfortable position. There's things in the natural. If he could create the natural, why in the world, and he proved through Jesus that he was master of the natural, why would he leave us only to have a spiritual experience and not understand there's some things we need in the natural? So, I solicit the prayers of those who believe. I solicit everybody, because I don't ever want to go back under that knife again for my back. And I'm praying that this is not what this is, though it feels very familiar. And just like I did a clarion call to all the men in your life and all the people who say they truly support, I wanted to see their names, because we're going to have moments like this when you're tired, when you put every penny. We don't talk about finances when it comes to Single, Saved, and Serious, but the amount that you poured into this, because it's your dream and your passion.
Mm-hmm.
And, when we see dwindling numbers here, or we see people say, oh, well, when you come back to Charlotte, let us know. When I'm sure there's an entire people who need to hear about the gospel in Concord, especially when we've been given an open door by JoJo and the crew at Conversation Piece. I mean, we have not had a reception. Think about it. Who else has welcomed us the way this man has, to say that he's going to give an afternoon back to God?
No one.
No one. No one. And I believe God's going to bless him for his efforts and for his mindset. So, literally, this is a blessing. But it doesn't take away from the fact that you're working hard, that you're pouring everything into this idea, and you get tired. You need to acknowledge when people get tired. You know, we're Christians and we believe in Christ, but we're not superhuman beings that can't get tired, can't get worn out. You know, it's important that you know someone in the faith to which you can trust those kind of feelings. Not everybody can deal with it. Oh, I didn't know you were like that. What? Everybody's like that. Everybody's human, and they get tired. If people are saying anything, I can't see it.
No.
Okay.
Your sister.
Well, I'm glad people are listening in, though, because I was really concerned this afternoon about you.
Well, look.
What?
One name that we have is Mary Skit. She's responsible for Radio 1, which is 92.7, 100.9, and 105.3, and she does radio. She's a radio personality also of 105.3, so she's the radio programmer and director of Radio 1.
Wonderful.
And I don't know if she's still on the line. You know, she probably was just strolling through, but, you know, she saw what the Lover and the Giver were doing.
But we just want to thank you for those who stepped up to the plate. We appreciate you so, so much because...
And you really don't know how that feels when people who hardly know you check on you before the people who really know who you are. And, you know, I know some of y'all seen Judy's posts. You know, you can act like you were in your little zone or whatever. But I know my people really seen Judy posts.
And trust me, I don't put up something like that on a regular. I am not a cry wolf kind of person. No way. So.
But it you know, it gives you signs, and I know I'm growing. And the part of the growing process, and I understand that I went through it years ago, that you grow further than the people who are around you, and you grow away from them because you're on a whole nother level. You're in a whole nother place in life. So those people that think that you've changed, or those people who are going a different direction, really don't want to be around you anymore because they don't want to go in that same direction of discipline as you do. And I understand that. But the point is, like, if that person is still within your heart, and that person that you still know and you go back with, you still check. But then I have to understand that everybody's character ain't the same. But it's not that I've changed. I ain't do nothing but grow. I didn't change. I just grew within God and did what God expected out of me, you know, to do as a servant. And, you know, sometimes you have to look back and step back in order to see what's really going on. And what's really going on really ain't looking good. So you give that warning of, you know, and I might die before they do. That's, you know, I might die before they do. But the thing about it is I'm aware of what's going on before death comes to me. So if anybody comes out of their mouth to say rest in heaven, they really and truly believe that ain't nothing that they're saying, whether they're coming out of their mouth or not. It's in their head that I was trying to get to heaven. I was doing all I can in order to get to heaven. So when I go through heaven's gate, I did the best that I can to bring people to where I was going towards heaven. And I think that, you know, whether you think I go about it the right way or wrong way, or however you think about it, I'm going about it. And, you know, some people will get it, some people won't. But for the ones who don't get it, just don't say that I haven't warned you of what's going on. Sometimes it takes somebody to be aware of what's going on, because I see it every day. If me and you were doing the same thing and I was happy where I was, or not happy, but I was complacent with where I was, then wouldn't you think that I'd try to take you or keep you away from your journey in order to bring you along with what I'm doing?
I gotta sit up, honey.
Okay. Well, whatever you gotta do. Because, so, regardless of whether you agree with me or not, we all on the same page. You know where I'm coming from. And, I'm not a politically correct person. When I tell you I don't like politics, I do not like politics. When I tell you certain things that I don't like and I don't fool with, I really don't fool with them. There's nothing of me going outside of my mouth, just running my mouth. It's really true. If anybody tell you anything about me, I don't do I don't do that foolishness. I don't fool around. Because at the end of the day, God don't care about what position you in politics. He only cares about what's in your heart and how you bringing people to the kingdom.
Amen. Amen. That's
so
it. That's it. Are we on the saving business of introducing that relationship, of strengthening those who may have been in a position that you are, where they're discouraged, or they're needing that support, and that's what we're so thankful for, because people did show up.
Yeah, anybody can say it on social media, and I try to stop doing that. I try to just reach out via messenger if I know you call, but anybody can say I'm praying for you, or we're praying.
It got to the point now we don't even say that we're praying. We got the little emojis, and we say praying ... or we got little hands going on. And I mean, do we really stop and say, God, I don't know what that person is going through. Can you go where they are? Can you be where they need you to be so that they continue to stay encouraged? Yes, I understand it's a little sign, but I don't pay attention to that. I barely pay attention praying, or the ones who just say done. I'm like, done? It's not a TV dinner. Somebody's life is really maybe hanging in the crosshairs, and they say they need prayer. Tell them that you prayed for them, even if you don't know the particular situation. So again, we're just happy for those who did.
Yeah, we're
this isn't a bashing thing. It's just we're happy for those who showed up. We appreciate it. It made me feel good, because I try to support you as much as I can, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and but it's not called the body for nothing. It should not be one person trying to hold another person up. It should be a body of believers, and sometimes you need more than one member in order to do something. So I'm just thankful for those who either texted me, chat me. There were some that chatted, and it was like, what's going on? There was some that gave advice on the link, the post, excuse me. Yolanda, she was like, hey, what do you need to do? And I said, it's not just, we do what we need to do in order to have these events. But at the same time, how we were getting this high accolade of being, power couple. That is sheer what? Sheer will, force of will, yours, coupled with mine. And then we pray to God and ask Him to bless it. That's what we do. So you get tired sometimes.
This is what I say. If somebody's at a point where they're venting, whether it makes any sense to you or not, sometimes it's best to listen to them. Whether they're saying the stupidest things, ever, sometimes it's best to be that listening ear.
And listen. Go ahead, honey.
And be that encouragement. Because, and be encouraging and check up on those people, because you never know what that person may be mentally going through. And just because somebody's going through something, it don't mean that you need to stop them, because you don't know where it is next year. It's just like when I put up that post about conversation piece and about them empty chairs, when I posted that picture of the empty chairs. Well, that's the same thing that I reminisce about Daddy, because I really don't know where God's going to take me next year. But it's something that I can remember on and be inspired by next year when I look back at my timeline, if they still have it on Facebook, and say, well, this is where I was last year, and this is what I was thinking about that situation.
At that time.
You know, and go ahead.
No, I just want to say that, you know, we all know that men don't speak as much as women. So if you hear a man venting, you know, I mean, yeah, you might have that family member, well, they always complain about something. But if you hear a man venting that you know you don't hear, please pay attention. You know, the men in this society, and I'm not going to just get into old black men. No, men, period. The whole male thing is under such attack because God chose to put them in a leadership role. And so when God chose to put a man in a leadership role, that's the first person they want to take out is the leader. Because if the leader is gone, then the people are scattered. You see what I'm saying? Things are scattered. So they go first for that leader. And so I say, when you have a man that is opening up his mouth, telling you, like Evangelist Majors put up, you could tell that was a man saying, I'm tired. You know, when Bishop May has to say what he says, he's getting to the point of being tired. So we men and women have to listen for those signs. Don't just brush that off. That a person's, oh, well, you know, they're always, oh, well, you know, oh, well, he's got a problem. So do I. We all have problems. Listen to that person. And you don't know what a small amount of encouragement can do.
Yeah. So we're going to leave you on that note.
Yeah, because I feel my eyes so heavy right now. I'm trying. I'm going to look back.
But we always go to argue. We used to argue all the time. So, you know.
I hope nobody was upset this morning when you saw us just kind of going in. There's not a loss of love.
Well, really, okay. Let me hush. She say I'm losing my people because I talk trash and stuff like that.
You know, you trash, y'all. You know he trash talk all the time. But I don't think there was anybody who saw that and
I don't think they paid any attention, to be honest.
Maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't. But I did. I don't like there to be that level of disagreement.
I love it because just like I told.
Do you see why this is always so interesting and different? Because I'll say, well, I really don't. I do. I love it when they don't.
No, because you got to look at it. It's bedroom talk. You know how many marriages go through these things?
I understand.
You know how many singles. When I was single and I used to look at married couples argue and they used to get caught up in their feelings, I was so inspired and I loved it.
Only you would be
inspired. You know what I mean? I loved it so much. I mean, you know, there was just so much. Cynthia, we're in Concord Sunday. Come see us if you love us.
Please come out. We're going to be in Freedom Park most of the day tomorrow with Charles Robinson, with Avis Petty, with so many community leaders, Christian performers, just regular performers, food trucks. Go Hard for Your City on one side and that community extravaganza, I think, on the other side. So please come out and enjoy yourself in Freedom Park with us. Sunday we'll be at the Conversation Piece with Will McCrae and WEMJ Productions. And I think it's a good weekend.
It's a great weekend because Will McCrae going to tear it up. But we, you know. So New Beginnings, I posted New Beginnings Community Church. I already posted it. Ooh. Concord, Salisbury, and Charlotte. Come see Will McCrae. If you don't support me and you don't fool with me, at least support my little man, Will McCrae. He's doing major things within the music and within God. We love you, but God loves you more.